What's going on, guys? Welcome back to BlackTideTV, and thank you for joining me for a brand new episode of Call of Duty Infinite Warfare Epic Weapon Variants. This is one of the more popular mini-series on my channel where we go through all of the epic weapon variants that could have been added to Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. You see, it's been a little over 8 months since there have been new variants added to the game, not including DLC variants. But in today's video, we're not going through those DLC variants just yet. I do have some ideas planned for the DLC epic variants that could have been added. But for the most part with this series, we've been going through all of the base in-game variants. So weapons that have been with us from day one here in Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, not including Quartermaster exclusive special things. So these are all variants of my own making. I've designed 3 variants for you in today's video. The first 2 videos in this series, which were standard all-around weapons, will be linked in the description down below. I have 2 completely full videos over there, like one has 7, one has 10, I think. But in this video, we're doing 3 very special weapons. And those weapons are very special because there are no variants whatsoever for these weapons in the game at all. And that, of course, is the launcher category of weapons. So there are 3 launchers in Call of Duty Infinite Warfare: the Spartan SAA3, the Plaw, and the Howitzer. None of these weapons had variants when the game launched, and they still have no variants to this day. I don't know if this is laziness on the part of the developers. I don't know if they just couldn't think of anything, if they didn't want to make their variants too overpowered, because the launchers, if used correctly, can be very powerful, even though the launchers in Infinite Warfare are kind of garbage. I don't know why they didn't make variants for these weapons, because the original game, the original Call of Duty that included variants, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, had launcher variants, even if they were only cosmetic. In Advanced Warfare, all of those launchers, they had epic variants, or elite variants they were called at the time. They had enlisted and they had professional variants, rares and legendaries. But they were all cosmetic. They just looked different. Whereas this time around, there were no variants whatsoever. I would have even settled for a cosmetic change, but there were no variants for the launchers, which was incredibly upsetting. Launchers and the combat knife were the only 2 things that didn't have variants. So in today's video, I've got 3 launcher variants for you, 1 for each of the different launchers. They're a little bit wacky, I'll let you know right away. These are unique epic variant ideas. I apologize for the extended intro, but this needs some serious setupage because shit's about to get real. My very first one is definitely the tamest of the 3, and that is, of course, the Spartan SAA3. I've added the extra A because this is obviously an anti-air weapon, AA. It's got the Support Elite or Epic perk, and that's going to give you extra rockets that do double damage, but you must have a vehicle lock-on to fire. So you've got 5 double damage rockets now. I think it normally comes with 3 rockets, but I could be wrong there. 5 double damage rockets, but you must lock on to enemy score streaks to fire this thing. It can be any score streak. It can be anything that you can currently lock on to with the Spartan. So you can shoot this thing at a vulture. I think that's what they're called in this game. I'm not 100% on my Infinite Warfare knowledge right now, but you can shoot this at the vulture, the little thing that flies around people, and you can hit that thing with double damage. It might have a pretty good blast radius and kill enemy players. But what this is really meant to be used for is shooting down UAVs, shooting down Wardens, shooting down Thors, anything that's in the air, because you're going to lock onto those things. It'll have a longer lock-on time, but you'll be able to lock onto those things, fire a missile up at them, and you'll have more rockets to dispatch enemy score streaks a lot faster. This is basically your answer to like the Javelin from previous games that we haven't seen in a long time. So a locked-on, double damage rocket launcher. The next one up is more for your infantry engagements, and that's the Plaw X. And it's called the X because you're using the Semtex 2 epic perk. The Semtex 2 epic perk will basically turn the Plaw into a next generation Semtex sticky explosive launcher, and you're going to fire Semtex explosives with each shot. Your Semtex explosives will have a 5-second fuse after they impact whatever target you're firing on. They're not going to immediately kill people if you hit someone direct impact. They're not going to die, but that explosive that's stuck to them will definitely detonate and they will die after that. Now this special Semtex grenade can stick to anything, and it's going to have pretty good blast radius. The weapon is very much the same, okay? The Plaw is very much the same as the Plaw X, except this time, instead of firing a ball of energy that will just explode on impact, it just sticks, and then it will stay there for a little bit, for 5 seconds, and then it'll blow up. It's basically much more appropriate for engaging infantry. So that's the Plaw X, and the final, most wackiest, craziest variant, of course, has to come with the howitzer, which you're seeing gameplay of today. Very difficult weapon to use in general, and so I've gone with a crazy, completely remastered weapon for the epic variant, and that is the Howitzer Airborne with the Pop Fly epic perk. It's going to turn the howitzer into a mobile mortar system with an upward facing barrel, so the barrel will kind of come out and point more upwards rather than how you see it in the gameplay. It is also going to have a digital touchscreen map, and you're going to have to crouch and ADS to open the targeting system, select a location, and then fire your weapon. And there's going to be like a 5 to 10 second travel time as your mortar round is flying through the sky, and it's going to come down on whatever location that you aimed at. So it's going to take a lot of skill to use. It's going to be a very different weapon than the howitzer is right now. Kind of similar, because you are still using like a grenade launcher type system, except now you have this little touchscreen thing, and you aim down your sights, and basically it just brings the touchscreen kind of like up to your eyes, or just brings the touchscreen a little bit closer, and it shows you like an outline of the map, and you pick where on the map. It's kind of like a score streak. You pick where on the map you want to fire. So basically you like hold on, you like use your R stick and point to where you want to shoot. Hold on with the L2 and then fire with R2, and it's going to fire up into the air. It's going to wait a couple seconds, going to come down, still doing the same damage as the howitzer. It's just going to be a little bit weirder. It's going to be fun. It's going to be different, and that's why I've made these videos, these unique epic variant videos, because there's so many possibilities when it comes to variants. Like for launchers in general, velocity, increase the velocity of any of your launchers, increase the blast radius of your launchers, increase the ammo capacity of your launchers, give them lock-on systems, give them environment multipliers. This was another one that I was thinking about, but I couldn't really suit it to any of the launchers in particular, but an environment multiplier. So if you're firing at environmental objects, explosive barrels, cars, maybe you fire at those things and it makes the damage from those much more significant. Maybe it increases the blast radius of those. Like, there's so many options for launcher variants, and there were no launcher variants in the game. So let me know what you think of my 3 launcher variants. My 3 epic launcher variants are pretty crazy, but let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Drop any of your own variant ideas that you have in the comment section down below. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, all of that good stuff. My links are in the description down below. You can join my Destiny 2 clan, you can follow me on Twitter, and you can check out my Patreon page, but I will catch you guys on the next video.